Hey, you all, Rick here. We are at Lake Meade State Park, located about 15 minutes outside of Meade, Kansas. But I've got to back up somewhat because a lot has transpired since Saturday morning and today, Monday, at about 1:45 in the afternoon. So let's back up and let's go from the very beginning. Saturday morning started out great. We got to our first destination, and that went really well. I did a video with my dash cam as well that morning. Okay, so we spent the night at our first camping location. There again, I did a video on that particular location, and that was free, but for primitive camping. But there's no amenities at all. No water, no gas. Well, not gas. No water, no electricity, and but it was free, so that worked out all right. We went to Rock City Park, and it's not too far from Minneapolis. Okay, so that's where we stayed at that night, was Minneapolis Park. Okay, so we went to the Rock City Park. We did all of that. We got back. We set our tent up and everything, and everything was fine. Okay. Sunday morning, we were going to go to Dodge City, and we'd go do a tour of Dodge City, Kansas, and camp out at one of their local lakes, not too far from Dodge City. Well, you know how things happen. So what happened was, from Minneapolis to the Dodge City area, we had no internet whatsoever. None. Zilch. Zero. So the wife had to plug in her GPS machine. Well, that left no room for my dash cam. So I couldn't take any videos between Minneapolis and Dodge City. But what we did was, I got to back up again. We stopped in Great Bend for breakfast. We had to pick up some supplies. We had to wash some clothes. We were there for a few hours, and it rained, and it rained, and it rained, and it rained. So we went ahead and went on. Well, by the time we got to Dodge, it was about a 2-hour drive. By the time we got to Dodge, it had cleared off. Everything was fine. However, Saturday night was supposed to be really bad storms in Dodge City area. So we elected to just drive on to Lake Meade, just outside, like I said, just outside of Meade, Kansas. We've been to Meade, Kansas. Last summer we went to the Dalton Gang hideout and the tunnel that they built, and that's pretty interesting to go to if you're in that general area. I did a video on that, all that too. So we just decided to go on here to Meade and sit. Now this Meade State Park is very, very, very nice, and they have all the hookups are available if you so desire. They have RV areas, they have the primitive camping areas, but they're not real picky about it. But the only problem of it is, if you stay in the RV areas, you might get a lot of generator noise, and they warn you about that if you're going to primitive camp, which we did not do. So at any rate, it took us a while to find a spot, but when we got here, it was about 1:30 Sunday afternoon. This state park was just to the 10th power mind-blowingly crowded. They've got a beach area. They've got an area that you can just about do anything. You fish and swim and boat and all that. It's crazy. So we got here and this place was just, I mean, packed like sardines in here. So we didn't even know if we was going to get a spot or not. Well, we started driving around and we found a spot. It's not bad. It's not bad. Matter of fact, it's just right across from where I'm at now. I'm out on this dock looking out over Lake Meade. The people are very, very friendly. They're very accommodating. We didn't have any trouble getting in. We went in. We paid for our 3 nights. And we've got a Kansas State permit or a pass for all state parks in the state of Kansas. Well, when you get your registration renewed, you get your new sticker for your tag. Just mention that to them, you get it for $15. Otherwise, it's like $10 higher. Well, I've already had my park pass, so we just had to pay for our nights. And for 3 nights, it was $32. And I thought that was. We looked up RV parks, and for even if you primitive camp, you're looking anywhere from $20 a night on up, $30, $40, $50 a night. So we were like, nope, that ain't gonna happen. So on the way here, the wife did some checking, and then we found Lake Meade State Park. It's very, 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 very well maintained, very clean, and they do have the electric and the water if you so choose. Of course, it's going to cost you more. If you got an RV, it's going to cost you more. If you want to fish, everything is extra. We just primitive camp. That's all we do. We don't do none of the other. So, but the more you want to do, the more it's going to cost. But like I said, we got here about 1:30. By the time we got our spot picked out, it was about 2 o'clock. Well, then the wind decided to kick up. 40, 50 mile an hour winds. It was crazy. We like to never got that tent pitched up. Well, we finally did. And that wind blew all afternoon, all evening, all night. We got up this morning, and what did it do? It rained. However, they had strong storms, like a watch basis for this area. Well, nothing really happened. It rained, it lightning, it thundered, and it quit. So we got up this morning and decided we were going to go into Meade to have breakfast and to buy some stuff and just kind of hang out, wash some clothes, and hang out. I know it sounds like we wash clothes all the time. We really don't, but everything got wet. We had a tarp over our tent, but unfortunately there was some gaps in it. It went in through the netting, and we still had to. So we thought, well, we're just going to go take care of that. So we were in Meade this morning for probably several hours, but the clouds went away, the storm threat went away, and this is just a gorgeous. And it's not really that hot. It's probably upper 70s, maybe lower 80s, and it's not that windy. It's like maybe 10 mile an hour winds. I can handle that. But what we encountered, oh, that was horrible, windy. And that's why I'm doing the video now, because it was just too windy. You couldn't have heard me anyway, even if I had. So that's kind of where we're at. In the morning, we're going to go to Liberal, Kansas. Liberal, Kansas is about a 40-minute drive from where we're at right now. So what we're going to do is we are going to get up in the morning, go to Liberal, go to the Air Museum, and then we're going to come back here and finish out the day and then leave early Wednesday morning, go home for about a week. I don't want to be home longer than a week, and then we're going to go again. However, I have no idea where we're going to go yet. We've talked about several different directions. We just haven't made up our mind yet. But as you can see, as you can look around, there's nobody here. We had this whole camping spot, and I'll show you after a while, literally to ourselves. Everybody left late Sunday night. So we really kind of lucked out. And there's 2 different areas that you could camp here at Meade Lake State Park. we're kind of on the lower level, and it was still somewhat crowded, but this other area across the lake that's got the swimming area on it, I trust me, it was just beyond crazy. We're just going to kind of walk down. I'm not going to walk very far. I'm just trying to explain what happened, what we went through. You know, sometimes things don't always go as planned. We were going to stop at Dodge and camp out there for one night. That didn't happen because of bad storms. But it's okay. It's all right. We've been to Dodge a few years ago. I was going to do an updated video. I can do that later. And they've got really nice bathrooms. You know, they do have, if you want a spot with electric and water, you can most certainly do that. But like I said, that will cost you more. All this looks pretty new. Now, I don't know. I've never been here before in my life. I really don't know. But there's a water fountain here. And then they do have free water, actually. If you want to come over here and get your water, you sure can. And we've filled our water bottles up and our water containers up right here. Okay. That's kind of it in a nutshell. But yeah, I mean, things just don't always happen. We got internet here at Lake Meade for some reason. So, and Wednesday morning when we leave, we're going to set our destination home. Well, I'm pretty sure we can do it. We got internet now. We've had internet since we got to Dodge City area. But when we got that far yesterday, it was storming. It was bad. High winds. So at any rate, yeah, that's just kind of the way it went. But what I'm going to try to do is do a dash cam on the way home. We went through some really beautiful areas to get here, and I was just sick because I thought, man, this would make such a nice video, but it just didn't happen. But we're not done yet. We're just getting started. This is our first camping traveling event of the summer, even though it's not technically summer yet. Now see, we could have stayed over here yesterday, but it was just wall to wall, truck to truck, car to car. See, we could have stayed right here at 122 for $12.75 a night, right off the lake, but it just wasn't going to happen. We normally go on the weekday 99.9% of the time, but this weekend was kind of the exception to our rule. And that does happen sometimes. I kind of wish now we should have just left this morning. We could have done everything we was going to do, but you just never know what the weather's going to do. You can look, you can plan, you can go to your weather apps, and you can do all this stuff. But unfortunately, the weather's going to do what the weather wants to do. And, you know, we just don't really have any control over that. So, at any rate, I'm just kind of walking around, jabbing, talking, just trying to let you know what's going on, what happened, and why it happened. But yeah, I mean, we bought a brand new propane little tabletop grill last winter. We broke it out and used it yesterday. It worked fine. It works great. And we take these pre-packaged meals, and all you got to do is put a little bit of water in a pan, and you got your meal. And so we got a whole ton of, and you get these anywhere. You can get them at dollar stores, dollar type stores. We'll tell you though, if you go to Walmart or if you go to like a sporting goods store, they're very expensive. Some of those get them at $15 a piece. Well, you know, you do the math on that, and that would cost a fortune if you're going to be out for 4 or 5 days. But you can make your own at home, and the wife knows how to do it. It's not hard to do. But we found some packets that weren't that expensive, so that's what we did. And so, but yeah, this morning we went into Meade. We had breakfast at this restaurant called the Bunkhouse Inn. Very, very good food, and it wasn't all that expensive. It was about normal, $10 to $20 is about normal these days. But yeah, Now see, I'm walking all the way down this one circle here, and there's nobody here. Not a soul, nobody. We've got this whole side to ourselves, and maybe the other side too. But it's a weekday. There's no holidays involved in it. We broke one of our golden rules. We never, well, I won't say never, obviously. We don't like to go anywhere on the weekends. Simply because what we encountered when we got here yesterday, it was crazy. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. And don't always go, if you're going to review a park, don't always go by those reviews. Some people get really mean and hateful and spiteful, and one little thing is going to set them off, and they're going to give it real bad reviews. Okay, that happened to us the first park we went to. It got really bad reviews. There outside of Minneapolis Lake. We got there, it was fine. It was absolutely wonderful. There was no problems. There was plenty of availability. We got a really nice shaded spot. Matter of fact, we got a spot all to ourselves. It was on Saturday afternoon, believe it or not. So, and I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with the park. But some people, you know, you can't please. Or you do one little thing wrong, somebody does one little thing wrong, and then they get, you know, their nose bent out of shape. But I'm just saying, sometimes that's the way it happens. But you still want to just be careful, be cautious, go check it out, and if those are true, what people are saying, then maybe you shouldn't stay there. I mean, you know, but that just wasn't the case when we went to the Minneapolis state, or not state, Minneapolis Lake. I don't believe it's state-owned. We try to go state-owned parks. Now, you can't always go to state-owned parks. We try to. Now, we got this park pass. We're going to really try to go strictly state parks. We're probably going to be home for a week or so, and I'd like to take out the middle of the following week and be gone for a few days and come back and regroup and do it again, you know, rinse, repeat, you know, or whatever. But yeah, that's what we're going to try to do. But there again, sometimes things happen, unexpected things happen. But, you know, I mean, all in all, and this makes up for it, right here, right now. It makes up for the bad storms. It makes up for everything, this does. This is absolutely wonderful. I can walk on around. What I might do is get the dash cam and just kind of drive around here a little bit just to show you what we're dealing with today. I should have done it yesterday, but it was crowded. I mean bad. I was like, nope, there's no way. So at any rate, now I will tell you, this Liberal Kansas, this Air Museum, they, believe it or not, they recommend 2 days. There's no way I got 2 days. I don't even have a day. I might have several hours. So I'm going to try to condense that down to maybe 3 hours tomorrow. Try to show you the highlights and then just go from there. But yeah, just kind of give you an idea. That way you may want to go on your own and go to the Liberal Air Museum. We've been there. It's been, I want to say a few years ago, but that's putting it mildly. It could have been, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. But yeah, I mean, that's just, but today makes up for it. Beautiful day. Now, like I said, we woke up to rain early this morning, but by, I don't know, by about 9 o'clock it moved out, and now we got this. Absolutely beautiful. I'll show our camp spot here in a minute. We had to take everything out of our tent and lay it out on the ground to dry. But it should be dry by now. We've done that before. We were at, oh gosh, where are we at? I can't remember where we were at, but everything we owned, oh, I think it was a Winfield City Lake. was just sopping wet. So we didn't live, we don't, of course, we don't live very far away. So I think the wife jumped in the car and went down and washed all that stuff, because it rained in. Most tents have a protective top or covering. We do too, but it depends on which way that wind is blowing that rain in, and it could still get in your tent somewhat. But yeah, hopefully now we'll have from now till we leave, and I'm going to try to do at least a partial dash cam video on the way home. I know I've done them for the whole length, 2 or 3 hour video, and that's usually not good because that's just too long. So I might try to condense it down. Unfortunately, the way we came up or down here, over here, whatever you want to say, we are out in western Kansas. We are out in western Kansas. Like I said, sometimes things just don't work for whatever reason. But at any rate, let me go down here and show you our setup here. Yeah, I talked to one of the law enforcement personnel here. Very friendly. I told him we had a park pass. I asked him if we could camp here. He said yes, no problems at all. So here we are. Yeah, today we're having like 5, 6, 7, 8 mile an hour winds, and that's so nice after after